Hi. Got a question for you. Why are you caged up for? Peach? Why you're in a place with the chicken wire around it, or in the house you're in a cage? Wild animals aren't pets. Hey guys, Dennis here. The other day I had a comment or a question. We've probably been asked this 1,000 times, I don't know. Why are those birds in cages for? Like, why? So I said, well, you must be new to the channel, because I've answered it hundreds of times, I said, and why not? No. And they said, like, wild animals aren't pets. Someone else said, well, these flies are wild. No. These aren't wild animals. I just didn't go yank him out of the bush here and bring him here. That's Peach. We've had Peach since 2015. It's 2023 now. Do the math. How long is that? There's Cherry. Cherry right there. We adopted Cherry with a broken wing, and it had to be surgically repaired, and it was just damage control. Like a university vet did it. And they said he'll never be able to fly again, and if you're willing to do that, he can live, but he's going to have to be under care. Well, he's under our care. And then we got 2 magpies. There's Pie. There's Spice. We rescued them from a bad situation. Some of you know they were found them in a back alley, like with dead birds around and everything. It was a really ugly situation. And Maple was found from there too. So, you know, and then they became imprinted on us. What that means is we're part of their flock and they're used to humans. But then they need care after that. You just can't let them go, because they got to be in your care. And lots of you do understand that, and you do know, and you've asked questions. Years ago you asked those questions, and after watching a bunch of our videos, you understand why we do it. And not everyone agrees with what we do. Well, that's fine. That's your right to think like that. But we look after these birds. We love them and everything. We care for them. We do the best we can, and we're committed to them. Like, we just didn't do this. Like, some people get goldfish for Christmas, and then by New Year's Day he doesn't want it no more. It's upside down. This is a big commitment. We're not telling people you should go find a crow or a magpie and treat it as a pet, or put it in a cage. If you find an injured bird or a young bird by a tree and you don't see parents around and you're worried about its safety, then maybe you should contact a wildlife rehab in your area, or call a vet. Call a veterinarian and ask advice. And a lot of them will say, just leave the bird alone. Just, like, that's just part of life, and it's time to grow up and get strong and get used to the world. But sometimes they fall out of the nest, and that's not a fledgling. Like, there's a difference between fledgling and a baby bird. Like, when a baby bird falls out of the nest, maybe even the parents kick it out, right? Like, think about it. Maybe there's some disability with the bird. We don't know, right? And they have to feed all these little chicks, and they have to make a decision. This one's not responding well, and maybe get rid of that one or this one so we can feed the other ones, because, you know, they migrate from this area, and maybe they'll never be strong enough for the migration. You need, the strong only survive, right? You need strong, healthy wings, and you'll be able to fly long distances. So there's little Peach. We rescued him in 2015 in late spring. He was probably kicked out of a nest. But where he was kicked out of a nest, there was cats around there and everything, and kids playing, and right by a busy road. And he was just laying under the tree like a cold rock. So it would have been an easy meal. Cat would have had no problem dealing with him. And Cherry there, he would have been euthanized. He wouldn't be here today. Because they said, the university or any vet doesn't usually repair a bird and then so he can be a pet or, to be saved. If they can't fix it and make it be returned to the wild, they euthanize it. What do you got to say over there? Hello. That's Maple. And when Maple was rescued, she had a real severe tail problem. Like, she had no tail feathers. It was like, if you go back to our older videos, some said, what happened to her tail? And some were even saying, did you cut it? Did you cut it like that? Like, some thought we cut or clip the wings or cut so we could keep it in captivity. We'd never do that. Like, even if we keep it in captivity, we're going to let it fly around in an enclosure like this, get some exercise. We're not going to cut it like that. So, or some said, oh, you're making tons of money off of YouTube for showing this, and you don't give a damn about them, you just want the money. I've never got rich off of that. I'm still not rich anyways, but all the money I ever made, I had to go bust my hump out in the real world. It wasn't from showing birds on YouTube. Right, Peach? Now, we have some wonderful subscribers that helped us, and still to this day they donate, and that's beautiful. Like in Cherry's case, a lot of the subscribers donated to help pay for the surgeries and his medications, and it was into the thousands. It was a lot of money. Like, who would spend $3,000 to $5,000 to save a crow, right? Some people shoot them for fun and everything. They wouldn't pay a dime. You'd have to pay them to do anything good for a bird. But we got some wonderful people watching over the years and helped, and that's just so grateful that you helped out like that. So, like, if I was making millions of dollars from YouTube or whatever, we wouldn't need no help, right? The money would be there already, but it gets overwhelming, and anything that the people donate or give helps. So thank you very much for that. So Peach isn't considered a wild animal. He's a domesticated crow. He's imprinted on us. He would never get along with wild crows. He wouldn't know what to do with them. They'd probably injure him. And he's used to being fed by us. And he does his own foraging and stuff. Look, he's looking for little treats. He eats insects. All birds do. He's still a bird. But he's in our care. And we love him very much. And he's having the time of his life. He's happy. Because he's an imprinted bird. He doesn't know any better. So, look, he's checking out a feather. That's probably one of his. I saw him pull a feather out the other day. Look, there's the pup. Actually, Peach is imprinted with Cassie too. They grew up together. We got Cassie in 2015 in the spring, and we rescued Peach in 2015. They grew up together at a very important stage in their life where they're used to each other. He'd even peck at Cassie. Like, he's not scared of Cassie at all. The other birds are a little more apprehensive when Cassie's around close. Like, Maple doesn't really like him too close, but they're all used to Cassie. They've seen Cassie for years as part of the family. And we used to have Sammy the boss. He passed away late in 2021. I sure miss him yet. And they were used to him too. Like, you got to be careful with animals interacting with each other, right? There are animals. Now, a cat isn't a wild animal. He was acting just like a bird like a domestic bird like this. They're just hanging out and doing whatever. But still, mixing different animals together, you got to be careful with that. And we're not that stupid, and we were always supervising. So guys, I'm going to end the video here pretty soon. Just wanted to address that question about why are these birds in cages, and wild animals aren't pets. Well, these aren't wild animals. You think I could go into the bush like this and stand and film them? They'd be all gone. All I'd have around me is wild flies and mosquitoes. You know? That's all I'd have. They wouldn't wait. They would not be standing here like this on perches and stuff. So these are not wild animals. And like, to the people out there that don't care what I say and still would never agree with me, well, that's your right and your opinion, but we do what we do, and if you don't like it, you know what to do, right? Don't watch no more. But for the ones that enjoyed this video, give a big thumbs up. I want to see lots of thumbs up here. A lot of likes. To the people that support us and understand what we've done. And you get some entertainment out of it too, right? So if I'm such a bad person, then you are too watching. The ones that enjoy it. I'm just teasing, but you know what I mean. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one, guys.